Yes! Brilliant. Apologies, I didn't have the microphone plugged in. If you are on the live version, can you please let me know if the microphone is now working for you? You can let me know in the chat, which goes along with this episode. And obviously, if you are watching the recorded version, just like the recorded episodes I was doing originally, I leave all screw-ups in. So, with that said, for myself, Matt, thank you for joining me for today's RC Coffee Chat. Brilliant. I can hear that the sound's working. Thank you, Olin. Cheers, fella. Right, on to today's topics for today's RC Coffee Chat. Number 1, can you spot the mistake? Oops, is all I'm saying. No wonder. We'll get to it in a minute. We have a fantastic update on the Clouds FPV flying wing. Loudness can be heard. Brilliant. The next topic which we have is the mini race wing, and I will try to be as politically correct as possible for that topic. We have an update on the POS as well. And there is a thread in the Facebook group which I'd like for you to have a read through and pass any thoughts on with. So, yeah. Jim just said, dental hygienist today. Any thoughts? Yes. Ask for stabs. That's the best way to go. So, yeah, Jim, I've got him on Wednesday of this week. So that will be fun. Brilliant. And, of course, good morning. I'm just going to read some names out. Good morning, Peter. Good morning, Sham. Good morning, Jamie. Good morning, Olin. Lauren, Simon, Wayne, Jeff. RC Late Boomer. Greetings from Mexico. Blimey. Sean, Peter, Canyon Racer, and Job. Yes, that is correct. POS does stand for that. In there. So good morning if you've been enjoying us live. And remember, if you have joined us later on and are watching the recorded version, if you have any comments or questions, you can let me know in the comments section underneath this video over on YouTube. So let's get into topic number 1. Can you spot the Whoopsy? Now, when I was setting up, let me just fill you in the background just in case, for whatever reason, you've not seen the previous episodes and don't know the full story with this. Is in short, I had some issues with the Cloud wing. What she would do, there you go. Imagine this brick, which you'd fit like 20 of those in the Clouds. Anyway, imagine that's the Clouds. When we first took her out for a maiden, she would do, whoa, that, and I can tell you that is scary as you like with a model which you've put like 14, 15 hours worth of work in, and it starts doing that on the flight line. I can tell you there was a big brown patch underneath. And then I realised that I had 2D stabilised hold on there, my bad. Yeah, that was not good. And then she went off and did it again up to stall point and then kicked over. It was a scary couple of minutes, I can tell you. So what I decided to do yesterday was just factory reset the Vector. Let's take things right back to the beginning and rule everything out. So I didn't enable the compass. I just went through all the basic setup again, made sure all the surfaces work, etc., etc., and just did a basic setup on there and tweaked the OSD a little bit, which is one of the reasons why I like the Vector, is because you can be up and running very, very quickly. So, what happened to... so in short, I factory reset the Vector, and the good news is everything works fantastically well now. She flies in a straight line. All the gains seem to be okay. And again, all my models, I just run on the standard 50% gains. I've never, until yesterday when we were mucking around, not yesterday, on Friday when we had the issues, that was the first time I've ever played with the gains on the Vector, trying to calm down that desire to do that. Anyway, the good news is she is flying absolutely fine. Now, let me have a quick look. Yeah, in my notes here, it flies fantastically well, rock solid in the sky, even with a hefty crosswind as well. Genuinely impressed. Now, I want to share a little video with you and I've got it over here on the left. Let me just get this on the main screen. So I will turn this down a touch. So let me get me out of the way so you can get on board with the actual flight. So number one, a massive hat tip to Craig for giving us a couple of launches yesterday. And again, of course, Dave as well on Friday. And Craig also got a video. In fact, Pants, I forgot about that. While you're watching that, I'll get my cursor back. And I'm going to nip across to YouTube. And I will get a link to Craig's video, which he made yesterday. There. Oh, by the looks of it, quite a few have seen it. And there we go. I've popped that in the chat, and of course I will put that in the video notes after this episode's gone live. And apologies, I am running a few minutes behind. So we've just gone off for the launch. There we go. So that was in complete manual mode. And there was a hefty crosswind coming in now in behind us. So that's now going with the wind. And there is no stabilisation in. And you'll see it kick in a sec. You should see her kick in a moment. So I'm just bringing around. Just making sure everything's flying all right. There, she is flying absolutely beautifully, and that's where the wind direction was coming from the sun over there. And it turned out to be quite a brisk, windy day in the end. And she does fly fine without any stabilisation, I hasten to add. It just doesn't need it in the sky per se. And the one little note, I'll speed past this, and you'll see that we brought into land. Now, the minor hiccup I made is that flight. See that battery? Oops, we did the trimming flight on a 1.3 3S 1300 A-spec battery. And the good news is that I only used 336 milliampere hours out of it. But as you can see, it flies fine, even on a tiny little battery like that. Oops. So that was my screw up yesterday. But on the bright side, everything worked fine. Now, talking about everything working fine, coming back to this image, this is an L9R receiver, and that little white wire there, I did kind of plug it into the ground pin. So our RSSI was always going to ground. So I had to cut this out. I ended up having to take the laminate off the top and then stick it in. In fact, can I zoom in on that? Yes, I can. I had to cut that out and then put the RSS line into the signal one, not the ground. Oops, a daisy. Yeah. Curious one on that one. Okay, so yeah, there will be some more video footage of that one out, or the clouds out very, very shortly, but just to share the good news with you, she flies absolutely fantastic, really well, and there was 4 of us on the flight line, and we all went for a nice long jaunt off in the clouds. It was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Next topic, apologies we upset someone yesterday. Where is it? That on the topic of the mini racewing, which I'm sure many of you have seen, that there's a Kickstarter out for that now, and it was also featured over on Flight Test in their video log yesterday, or maybe the day before. My views are already in there. I'll quite happily share them with you. 150 euros, not pounds or dollars, 150 euros for a model which seems to just like to lose its wings at any opportunity. Doesn't do it for me. Obviously, you know how much I like flying wings, and you also know how much I like to fly fast. And because the wing chord on the mini race wing is so narrow, it flies ridiculously fast. But on the flip side, I'm still not going to pay 150 euros for it. And there is a very, very interesting conversation which is definitely worth reading through over in the Facebook group, because I think we unfortunately upset Michael. Now, this note is specifically at Michael. I didn't feel any of the comments were out of line or out of hand at all, just great feedback, and I personally enjoyed reading the views of others. You did not need to leave, and you're welcome back at any point in time. And I genuinely believe that, so we're going to leave that topic alone. There was, what was the other one on there? Yeah, there is, the POS update. So yesterday, out the front, here she is, my new model. With that little message, just in case it gets lost somewhere in a tree, you know, and then comes down a couple of months later and I've forgotten about it. Yeah, we do have a bit of a wing issue. I kind of broke it yesterday and the little arms have fallen off, so I need to put some, I think that's going to take at least 3 sticks of hot glue to fix that. Yeah, we have a slight issue because she's exhibiting exactly the same issue as before. You take her off, she goes up, you bank left, and he does that. Just kicks back round on you and drops a wing. Dirty little model. Dirty little model. So what I'm going to go and do is muck around in the Tyrannus and stop it from putting so much down movement on one of the ailerons, because it really is causing it to tip stall. And I was using loads of throttle, to say the least. It just goes up. And yeah, it goes up and you're banking up and you're putting loads of up in it with loads of throttle. You put the ailerons in and bang, straight over. And that's exactly what it's done to me. The 4 times which I've flown it, it's done exactly the same thing. Job 91. Hello, Matthew. Do you stir your tea with your Banggood prop collection? I really do need to find a use for all those propellers, and I've just been giving them away at the moment. Here, have a handful of propellers. I've got like a lifetime supply of 6045 propellers now. Yeah, good point. No, it's not the CG. CG is perfect. Let me just... still got the battery on there. CG, can you see that? It's about 1/3 of the cord. And you'll see that I've even shunted the battery quite far forwards too. Just to make her a little bit nose heavy. Yeah, she's still balancing there. Let me bring her back. Yeah, CG is really quite far forwards. So it should be... Yeah. Tom, you said banks left, steer right. You don't get a chance. The second you bank over to the left, it's gone into a tip stall and wants to stuff itself in the ground. Yeah, I almost had it in the pond. Poor little thing. So, we'll see. Right, so that is the update on the POS. And apologies I didn't get any video of that. I had left the SD card in here on charge. But don't worry, it looks like it's still in one piece, so I will make sure that I've got the card in it for next time. And I will muck around in the Tyrannus and stop it. I think it might be just stalling the wings, so I will lessen the movement on the ailerons to see if that calms it down, or take it to a very wide open space and just keep to using a rudder. But I will make this thing fly one way or another, and if not, it's off to the mixer, I'm afraid. Poor little thing. Right. The last topic for today is actually a very serious topic, and not one which I'm going to cover in any great detail in today's RC Coffee Chat, but it's a topic which I'd like for you to take a read over. So let me nip across here. Now, if you go into the Facebook group, remember there's a link to the Facebook group in the video description for you. Facebook.com/groups/rag the nuts off. Link is in the video description. There is it's titled HobbyKing, a serious question. Now, I'm not going to go into detail about that post in there, but I would be very, very curious on your feedback about that, because I do honestly feel that HobbyKing must be losing out on anywhere between about 4 million USD to anywhere up to 10 million USD per annum out of just gross sales coming to their site. So that question is, as you read, and I'll move it back up so you can actually read it in full. And that's coming from 2 points of view. That's not only coming from myself as a content producer, but I also, frankly speaking, I would like HobbyKing to stick around. They do have some good models, and their lipos are fantastic. I love those. They're brilliant. They work really, really well, and some of the models are absolutely fantastic. Some of them, wow, POS. But we'll see. So, yeah, do go and take a read of that post because I am somewhat concerned about that. It has been bugging me since, and I found it earlier, since all the way back to RC Coffee Chat 95. That has been, what we're on 115 now, so what we 20 episodes, so over 2 weeks now. That has been really chipping away at me in the back of my head. So when something hangs around for that long with me, I need to get it out in the open. So that's what I've been and done. And sorry, and I may do in the future as well. So look out for that topic coming out. It's maybe this week. So yeah, any views, comments, do let me know on the bottom of that post. Yeah. Shim says a little bit of lighter fuel, set her on fire, then launch it. Yeah, or just strap a couple of rockets to it and off she goes. I don't know, or just stick it in the mixer. But no, I will do my best to try and get this little thing to fly. It may take more than I expected. So, and the last topic of today is that we need to go off to the HobbyKing website. And no, I'm afraid the HobbyKing website is still broken because they don't have an EFX Extra. And those of you which told me that it's not coming out for a month, I'm afraid we are going to have a month of this. I am really, really looking forward to the EFX Extra coming out, and I really want one. It's really fast, and let's all blame Tom. Is Tom here today in the chat? I'm sure I saw his name come past the chat in there a moment. Tom, you know who you are, and those of you which are in the Facebook group also know Tom as well. Yeah, bonkers fast model with an FPV pod on the top. Brilliant. Really, really want one. And I always wanted the original EFX Racer, but they are like rocking horse poop at the moment. You can't get them for love or money. And saying that, one did come up on eBay very recently for about 80 quid. But it was right up Birmingham way. And I'm not jumping in a car to go and get that. So boo on that fact. So, yeah. Okay, so I'm just reading through your comments on there. Yeah, HobbyKing is pissing off the FCC here over in the USA. Shane says, I like our yellow zippy batteries. They roll really well. Shane, I've seen your flying, and that was a very sad day. But as I think I left on Facebook and also maybe on YouTube as well, landed. And yeah, that was video editing, by the way. You got the transition perfectly on time as well. Poor model. And actually, if nobody's seen that, give me a second. Again, I'll put this in the show notes. And where is it? Subscriptions. Let me go and find this a second. There we go. Copy link address. I'll pop this in the chat, and I will also put this in the video description. Yeah, that was the end of a Shane's wing. I've popped that in the chat. Yeah, have a look at that. Yeah, sad day. So just quickly reading on there. EFX was on $60 at the AMA show. Happy days. But unfortunately, I am still not travelling across the big pond to the US to go and get an EFX. So I quickly almost missed it. No sales. I fixed my landed. Thanks for showing it. Yes. And I will pop it up there. So if you haven't seen Shane's video yet, do go take a quick watch on that. Poor wing, and there is a very special moment in that wing's lifetime. Happens in that video. Poor little thing, and I'll put a link to that in the video description for you afterwards. So today is going to be a short RC coffee chat. Number one, the topics which we covered. Can you spot the mistake? Yes, I made a big boo-boo. Your RSSI lead is supposed to go into the signal connection, not ground. And thank goodness I didn't stuck it in the middle one, which was 5 volt. No, it's not even 5 volts. That one runs on 6 volts. By the way, all my clouds, because of the lengths of the wires being used in the model, I got a little bit paranoid. And instead of running the system on 5 volts, decided to run the whole system on 6 volts instead. Obviously not the Vector, but the power lines on the back for all the 4 servos, they all run on 6 volts, and obviously the receiver will take 10 volts. up to 10 volts, and the servos, because I'm using, the Corona DS939 MG ones, is the they'll run on 6 volts, so that's what I'm running it on. And I must sort out the redundant power supply today. I keep saying that I was going to do it, and I need to do that. I'll run off the 5 volt line off the one of the ESCs and run that round onto the redundant power supply. So I do need to do that today. Clouds update. She flies, and she flies brilliantly. I got the Vector sorted. It was a wetware issue. Now, I'm sure some of you heard about hardware and software. There is this other dynamic to everything in life, and it's called the wetware, aka you or me in this instance. And I did feel that it was most likely my fault, and that's why I went back, factory reset the Vector, which quickly went through the setup, and ta-da! It all works again. Serves me right for copying across the mini Talon config. Yeah, my bad. The mini Racewing. Yeah, it looks like a fantastic model, but I'm not paying 150 euros for it. And it does look mental. That's where I'm going to leave that topic. An update on the POS. Yeah. There is a thread in the Facebook group about HobbyKing. Please do go over and pass any judgment if you feel appropriate on it. It is a topic which I want to tackle head on at some point this week. And I do feel that I can make the point enough. And I'm not scared, and I'm publishing this as part of something else which I'm working on anyway, so I've got nothing to hide on this from this point of view. And yet, as you already all know, that I will keep a commercial aspect to this YouTube channel, and I feel that's vitally important for its longevity. Okay, so yeah, there is a thread in the Facebook group. Please do go and read that one about HobbyKing in there. And last topic was, last two topics. Yes, unfortunately, the HobbyKing site is still broken, and I will still claim that the HobbyKing website is still broken until the EFX Extra turns off on it. Sorry, and if it's not out for a month, you've got a month for this, because I really want one. And Shane's video, and apologies, Shane, given more time this morning, I probably would have squeezed that one in. If you haven't seen that video, do go and take a watch on it. It's only like a minute long, and I will put a link to that in the video description or in a card up in the top left-hand corner afterwards as well for you. Now, obviously, today is a Monday, I think. I am actually having to check what day of the week it is. Yes, today is a Monday, so happy Monday for what it is here in the United Kingdom. If you haven't reached it yet, happy Sunday. And anyway, my point being, if you are out flying today, have a fantastic day's flying. And if you're not, oh well, you might be at work. And hey, look, work pays for models. Brilliant. Brilliant. So, on that note, Street Luge, Chris, my Wombat. I still need to change the motor on it. This weekend has been a flying weekend for me. So I've taken... Did I go flying on Saturday? I can't remember. I went flying on Friday. Went flying yesterday. And yes, I did go flying on Saturday morning because that was that freezing day and my thumbs froze on the sticks. Ridiculous. Anyway, my point being is that if you are out flying today, go out, have some fun. And I am very jealous of you. I will be renegated to the house because I'm working today, but I will probably, if there's no wind, I will probably take that little mini rainbow wing and take it for a little spank around out the front, do a couple of batteries on it, and then that will get me my fix for today. So on that note, from myself, Matt, thank you ever so much for joining me for today's RC Coffee Chat. If I have missed a question which you've asked in the chat, and apologies, like that chat's been just spinning up there, and I'm trying to keep half an eye on the chat on the left hand side. If I've missed your question, stick it in the Facebook group or pop it in a comment underneath this video. Also, one other thing which I keep forgetting to do, if this is your first time here with an RC Coffee Chat, welcome aboard. We do these every single day at 6 a.m. GMT. If you're not subscribed yet, underneath this video there is a link which says Matthew Ogborn, and it says subscribe, and it's red. click on the red button. Next to that, there's the little bell icon. Click on that one and you will get notified the second the next episode has been published. So on that note, from myself, Matt, thank you ever so much for joining me for today's RC. Oh, that was stone cold coffee chat. Cheerios!